Hey everybody! In this video, I'm going to show you a new product that I discovered called Animaytor. And it actually helps you create animated explainer videos or like motivational quotes that are animated and put them onto Facebook. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see is a blank canvas, I guess. And when you try and click on the buttons, nothing's going to happen until you come up here to create a new project. So we're going to go to New. I'm going to click it. And you'll notice they call these preset themes. So you have a bright theme, a matte theme, pastel. You get an idea. So sun ray theme. Now a theme has different backgrounds, different fonts to start out. You can always edit everything. It's super easy. So let me show you. So if I hit the next button here, I can kind of see orange. The next slide is green, orange, red. So it gives you the idea of what the theme's all about. So let's name our first project. First project. And hit OK. And you'll notice we have our blue ray background. And if I hit the plus symbol, I'm going to create another slide, which comes out in order of whatever the theme is. So I bet if I hit the plus here, it's going to be green, I think it was. All right, cool. So I have 3 slides. And down here, this is your timeline. So here's the first slide. If I click on here, I can bring the timeline back here to the first slide. Here's the second slide. Here's the third slide. Okay. So in the first slide, we have text, and just like in all Laughingbird software, you can double click and you can type in your own text. Today is the first day. And I can hit OK, but before I hit OK, I want to have it appear. I want it to fly in. Do I want it to appear, rotate in? I don't know what these do, so let's see. Rotate in. And I want to have it fly out. Okay, so let's see what that does. All right, I changed my text, and I'm going to start the video by hitting the play button. It flies in, and it flies out. Cool. All right, it's a little bit too short, and it flies in too quick. So if you notice down here, there's a little triangle-looking thing. That's my effect. You'll notice here it flies in, and here it flies out. So I can move this so the text won't appear until, a half a second later, and I can fly out longer by dragging it out here. And now if I go back to the beginning here and hit the play button, keep an eye on this when the playhead comes to the fly in, and you'll notice when it goes to the fly out. Watch, here we go. Spins in and takes a while and flies out. Okay, then it goes to the next slide. Now the next slide, it flashes in too quick. So here, what I can do here is click on this slide, go up here to transitions, and now you'll notice we have the slide can move left. Let's see what that does. I hit OK. I'm going to go back a little bit here on the timeline. Let's see what happens to when it flies in left. It didn't really. It goes to the. Okay, it's over here. Here's see the purple thing here. All of it's pretty intuitive. If you just kind of look around, you can kind of get the idea of all this. So let's drag it here. Let's try this next one. Let's see the next one fly in. There it goes. Okay. So instead, I want to have this slide transition. So I'm going to click here, go to transition, and instead of flying in, I want to use a GIF animation. So I don't see anything, but then I saw this a little while ago. I'm like, oh, here they are. So here they have all these crazy transitions like this one. And I'm going to click it. I'm going to hit OK. And it gives me an idea of what the transition is. That's great. And I hit OK. Now I see there's a purple whatever that is here. So let's go back to the beginning, and we're going to make our show. Flies in. Transitions. And then there's some more text here. And it slides to this one. All right, so far so good. And really quick, we're going to come back to this slide here, the second slide, and we're going to add text of the rest of your life. Oops. Life. And this one I want to inflate, and I want to have it inflate. 500 is fine, I don't know. And this time I want the font to be like 300, I guess it's pixels. Okay, and hit OK. And now I come here to see what my text looks like before I hit the transition. Here it is, way too big. So I can just take it and move it and make it fit everything. All right, I also want to have it fly out, so I didn't make it go out. So I just double click on it, and I'm gonna have it rotate out. And now down here, it's gonna fly in and rotate out, but I don't want that. I want it to take a little bit longer to do that. So I just kind of drag things around until I think that's about what I want. Okay, and then the third slide I know in my script, I want to add an image. So I come up here to images, and they have a whole bunch of built-in images. Okay, they have characters here. So you can add all your characters. They have animated things like a clock. Let's do a clock, because the time is ticking for the rest of your life. Okay, so I'm going to add a clock. I'm going to say OK. Shows me my animation. I'm going to have it appear like everything else. I'm going to have it shake. And there we go. There it is. And I want to add text to the side of this. And this time I'm going to have it appear word by word. Okay, here, let's try word by word. This is the end of my presentation. Okay, and I'm going to have, oops, sorry, what was I doing? Segment, word by word, letter by letter. Let's try that. See what happens. And let's make it work there. Okay, this slide might be too long, but I'm going to play my presentation. This slide is too long, so here's what I can do. I can shorten the first slide by dragging things a little bit shorter. So again, if you just look at all the little graphics they have, it's super intuitive. And really, I picked this up, I say an hour, but I was goofing around, testing things out. So let's bring this back. Let's look at our presentation really quick. And here's the timeline. It goes to the transition. Should fly out and transition. Cool, super, all right. And then the last thing that you can do with this crazy thing is use find all the sounds they have. You click on the sound. They have pre-built-in sounds like alarms, alerts, and that kind of thing. And you can preview the sound. Okay, so you get the idea. So now I want to add like a full song to it, not just these little tiny alert sounds. So it took me a little while to figure this out, but there's this thing, Audio Path, and the software has a lot of these little folder icons. So keep an eye on the folder icons, because when you click on them, here's where all your music is, okay? You can play them. So let's say I can do, I don't know, Feeling Sunny. If I go and I hit OK, and I hit, okay, here's the path for, it's going to put it into the video. And I say OK. Then you'll notice it gives you a sound down here. Okay, and I noticed that this is a super long song, so there's no way to shorten the song. And I can't chop it, I can't cut it off, but watch what I can do. So this is a really long song. Our video only goes to about 20 seconds. So around 19 seconds, I'm gonna double click on the sound, and I'm gonna have it, here's the volume, by the way. You can have it 100% or 10% or whatever you want to have it. But I'm going to fade in at 0 seconds. I'm going to fade out around the 19 seconds mark. Let's see what happens. I hit OK. And I'm going to play my video. So let's play it from about here. Let's bring the head back, the timeline back to about here. Hit play. And it should fade out around this area. Let's see. Awesome, it fades out. Good, and then the movie ends. So far, so good. And the last thing I want to show you on this craziness is how to import your own graphics. So I'm going to make one more slide, and I like this one. Now, let's just say I wanted to keep the green. So I'm going to go back to this slide. I'm going to delete this one. And this time I'm going to go back to the green slide, and I'm going to right-click over it. And you have a little bit of contextual menus, and I'm going to clone this. All right, so it clones the exact slide. So this slide, I don't need my clock. So I right-click over it, and I can delete it. And I don't really want the text here. Well, maybe I do. Okay, so let's just change the text and say I was. And I'm going to say that. And this is going to shake, I guess. Let's try that. And this time I want to bring in my own graphic, my logo or something. So now we go back over to images. And here we're going to click on the add button because I want to add an image. Makes sense. And here's all the graphics they have. But up here we have uploads. And I've already included that. So if I wanted to import an image like my logo, I can, let's see what my logo is. Here, this is good. I'm going to double click it. And it brings it in. I click on it again. I hit OK. And there's my image. And I want to have it fly in, appear. Let's have it appear. Hit OK, see what happens. And I can shrink it just a bit. And also, I want it to come in at an angle. So I don't know what this is going to do. Let's try that and hit OK. There's the angle. I don't like that angle. I'm going to go backwards and see if I can do a negative angle to about there and hit OK. There, that's the angle I wanted. And let's see if it flies in. I move the head back a little bit and let's see. There we go. Now I notice it flew in a little bit too fast, so I'm going to move this about here and the whole thing about here. Let's see what happens if I move it back, and there we go, perfect. So my full video should be pretty cool. And it took me, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes just to goof around with this. So let's bring the head back and let's see what we have. This is too long, I can shorten this. And the music fades out. Cool, all right, super easy to do. But of course I had to do this from my head and I'm just kind of goofing around. But if you have a script and you know what your first slide, your second slide is, and you can dork around with the transitions, it's really intuitive. But when you purchase the software, let me show you this right here. They do have a few upsells. They have one to the business class version is what I have. But they will upgrade you to corporate and premium and all these. A lot of them are more templates, more transitions, I think. I think you can, with the premium edition, you can resell all the templates you create if you're a business that wants to go into business making animated explainer videos. Which, by the way, if you do that, you can charge upwards of like $250 a minute. It's crazy. I mean, for each minute of the video you create. Crazy. But for now, I have the business version. So at the business version, they give you 10 professional music tracks, and all this comes with it. They also give you 30 pre-done themes. So when you download it, which I've downloaded, you get a bunch of videos, a bunch of pre-designed templates, like, I don't know, what's this graphic artist? So if you open it, they have a preview and then they have the template that you can import. I'll show you this in a second. So the preview, you just double click it. And now, funny thing, as you're watching this, you can understand how each slide is using the graphics. and the transitions and how it's working and how it's really impressive. Transition. So there's that one. That's really cool. And they have, I don't know, what's this explainer video? What does this do? I don't know all these. Okay, so the software lets you preview all the videos. Now, if you want to import one of the videos, you come up here to Project, and you open the project from here. So let's, I think it's, I don't know, let's just, what is explainer video, and click it, and you have to import the explainer SMT. That's their file extension, SMP. And I hit open, might take a few seconds. And now you notice it's a pre-designed template for you. And now that we know how to make slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, and here's all the transitions, right? We can play the video. Transition. There you go. So they don't have music on this, but we know how to put music on this if we wanted to. And instead of their text, we can just double click on the text, change the text to whatever you want it to be. So they have all these pre-designed templates that's really helpful. And the other thing that they give you is they give you their full-on presentation as a bonus right here. When you click this, I guess I should show you what their animation is really quick here. Let me show you really quick. This is very cool, and this helped me a lot. So here's a video. Let me show you the home page of their sales page.
Okay, so here's the thing. Animation video is expensive. It's the most stressful, time-consuming, and can cost $3,000, $5,000, or even $10,000 or more.
Okay, you got the idea. It's their explainer video that they made with the software, and they give it to you. So if I go back to the software and I open a project, and I go to where I remember downloading this before I gave you the video, Animaytor FE VSL Video Sales Letter, and I click on the SMP file, and I go to open. Okay, cool, it pops in. Now we have slide 1, slide 2, slide 3 with all these graphics flying in and all these transitions. It looks really daunting, but what's cool is that if you play their pre-designed video that you get when you buy the software.
Okay, so here's the thing. Animation video is expensive. It's the most stressful, time-consuming, and can cost $3,000.
Okay, you notice it's a little bit jerky when you're playing it back in the machine, but when you actually go here to produce, this is how you make your video. Well, let's show you. Click produce, and you can make it an MP4 video that you can upload to YouTube or Facebook or whatever. So I'm going to edit one thing on this. So I'm going to bring the timeline back to where I want to edit it to. And we know now that this is a transition. This purple is a transition between the slides. This is some object flying in and flying out. So all I want to do is find the object. Like here you go. I can right click and you can play with all these properties, or I could double click and instead of shaking, I want it to inflate. There's all kinds of things you can customize. So we'll hit select OK. And then the text animation video is expensive, but what if I had my own business and I said something like logo creation instead of they're animated? So it changes the text super easy, and now the voiceover is not going to change, of course. We might have to add our own professional voice to it, but...
Okay, so here's the thing. Animation video is expensive. It's the most stressful time...
Cool, and now this guy, if I double click, and instead of him, I want to add my own image. So I can double click on it. Here this is, and I want it to come in at that angle before minus 15, and I want it to rotate in, hit OK, There it is. I don't want him anymore, so I just go over here to delete. And this animation's going to, I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm not really sure what this is. Down here I have a picture, but I have most, and I have stressful here, so I see that's most, so that's these guys. This is probably blue, it's also text. Here is a lightning bolt, which is this one. So probably, here's the clock. Oh, here they go. So if I look, here's my picture, here's where I fly in. I want this to fly in here, a little bit about here. Let's bring the head back to this part of the timeline and hit play.
It's the most stressful, time-consuming, and can cost $3,000, $5,000.
How cool is that, right? So it takes a while to create your video, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper doing it yourself than hiring somebody. And you have, I think, full control over it. I really like it, and I think you will too. So if you check the link down below, you'll see a link to the software, and you can just go grab it and have fun with it. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I'll answer what I can. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this.